Okay, so yesterday we were talking about the basic narcissistic problem, right? And I said in this video we would talk about why you can't let go of your friend or your family member to this narcissist. You will see the narcissist will begin to isolate them out. And if you have a normal relationship prior to being around a narcissist with this person, and you know what kind of person they are, and you know they are not the narcissist or the sociopath, you have your daughter, your son, your best friend, you recognize the change in them. Somehow they become more tense, they become more isolated, they become more staunch in certain beliefs because they're being literally groomed by the sociopath or narcissist to revolve around that person and that person only. Okay. And it is a very quick process once the narcissist really truly has their claws in that person. Okay. And it is over time hard to tell a narcissist from their abusee. Okay. That old saying, the old adage, the abusee becomes the abuser. That is a probable end result. You're going to see changes in personality that don't make sense to you. Your loved one, the person you care about, their personality has not changed. The narcissist's control of them has begun to take hold. They become more docile. They seem to be more friendly to you if you're the narcissist's friend. They seem to be more pliant and compliant to other narcissists. That's telltale. But that is also why when a group of narcissists tend to get together, their abusees tend to become their only friends. And now the abusees are helping the abusers abuse their abusees. It becomes an awful cycle. And there is no way to recognize it unless you're on the outside looking in. What you need to do is always still be there, and you need to cite facts, observations, and you need to I don't want to say you need to tiptoe delicately, but you do in a way, right? You have to be very factual. You have to be very honest, and you have to absolutely be sure that you're presenting it the right way, because a lot of people are doting people, that really doting parents or doting friends. And doting is different than narcissism, but when someone's with a narcissist, the narcissist can have them convinced that you are just as narcissistic. You are the problem, not the narcissist. This is awful. And unfortunately, for most people trapped in these relationships, they don't know. And ultimately, they become more and more like the narcissist. So I'll give you an example. I know a woman who's been in a decades plus long relationship with a married man. It's a very open relationship. The wife knows about her. She knows about the wife. The two of them chew each other up and spit each other out if you can get either of them talking about each other. He continues to be in the center of this whirlwind. Okay. And the woman who is the other woman, technically, she exhibits all kinds of random narcissistic characteristics. Sometimes she really oozes with charm. Most of the time, she does not. And most people will instantly go, well, that's a narcissist. You just said they ooze with charm. Narcissists can ooze with charm for months on end. She has a spurt for an hour, couple hours. That's about as long as it's going to last. She's not the narcissist. She has become to the point where she takes on his traits. So she oozes charm at times, and at other times she is a viper, and she's more viper than she is oozing charm. Is she truly a viper? No, she is becoming and reflecting what he truly is. What he truly is a cruel and mean person. He is abusing these two women who both are just tolerating it because he's that powerful over both of them. And I have only met the wife in passing a few times, and I will say she's exactly the same way as the other woman, which makes me realize that the two of them basically are orbiting him like a narcissist requires. And then he periodically pits them against each other, so he maintains control over both of them. And as a result, both of them appear to be nasty, mean, and heartbroken, because they are nasty and mean because they are heartbroken. And every so often they ooze charm because, in all honesty, maybe that's actually who they are, and he is sucking it out of them. Because he certainly can ooze it whenever he wants and for as long as he wants. But a person who really cares about people, anyone who actually loves anyone, is not going to put them in that kind of orbit. A telltale sign of some narcissists is the fact that they will make sure they have these tethers to throw in their victims' faces. Oh, my ex-girlfriend, she's here. She's so great. She's this, that, and the other. And then when the girlfriend has a fight with him, he goes running to the ex-girlfriend and then blames the ex-girlfriend for being available and blames the current girlfriend or the wife for her arguing with him in the first place. It's a pattern that they all do. All of them. Really, they all do it. And as they get older, less attractive, or they find the perfect symbiote, so to speak, where they can just basically control that person completely and they do exactly what they want them to do. They cause chaos. One of the things that I always found interesting about every narcissist and sociopath that has ever come in my path is they often do not direct attack. And what I mean by that is to the person's face, and it's one-on-one, to their victim's face, one-on-one. They're me, and they're eating them up day in, day out. Oh, you're so fat. Okay, never mind that you barely eat and you're only a size 3. You're incapable of driving. My grandfather used to tell my grandmother that over and over and over again, to the point that she never drove again. But my great aunt, her sister, told us that my grandmother used to be a great driver. She used to love to drive. She had her own little Model T at one point. Okay. My grandfather, his narcissism destroyed her. So they will eat that person up to the point that when other people tell the story, like my grandfather's best friend's wife telling people why my grandmother didn't drive, it becomes the story that he says, oh, she's just too afraid. She doesn't like cars. All of the weight of the decision of not driving was placed on my grandmother. My grandmother was a great driver till she met him, apparently. So they then use other people to circulate the negativity. They do it in a weird positive way, but that person is feeling very anxious and suffering inside because what they thought they were good at before, they're no longer good at because he or she is telling them they're no good at it. They're no good at it. And then when you're their normal tether, you're their tether outside of that bubble. They're coming to you and you're like, you're great at that. Why is he saying that to you? You can't say that to them. What you need to say is you're great at that. Period. And full stop. You are fantastic at that. You need to counterbalance the destruction that the narcissist is doing, because that is the only way they are going to start seeing that is destroying them. You're great at that. You're fantastic at it. You're wonderful at that. I've known you for years. That's one of the best things. That's one of the things I love about you. What you love about that person is what that narcissist, what everybody loves about that person is what that narcissist is telling them they are not good at over and over and over and over again. If they are pretty, he is telling them, she is telling them they are not attractive. If they are sweet and nice and kind, he or she is telling them they're not kind, they're not likable, they're not good enough. You have to counterbalance that. And let me explain that once they're completely isolated, what I call bottom feeders will come out. These are people, they're narcissists also, and sociopaths also, but they're not committed. They're not, there's a level, there's a range of sociopathic, there's a range of narcissism, right? And they're at the bottom end of it. And we're going to talk about them next. But you need to hold on to these people. You need to tell that person that you believe in them. And when you counteract what the narcissist or sociopath is feeding them, you are telling them point blank, don't bring anything else up. That's what I love about you, though. You're great at that. You're fantastic at it. You are counteracting it, and you have to be dedicated to that effort. Till next time, peace.